Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I will be revisiting my everyday slash 3-day carry bag to show you some new additions. So stay with me and we'll start going through them. Well, I have a number of really cool items, and then I have a number of things that aren't too interesting, so I'll sort of try to mix it up as I present them to you. The first thing is, this was actually my wife's idea. I thought it was pretty good, and that's to keep a little bit of these little Colgate Wisps toothbrushes that have some good freshener as well as toothpaste sort of built into the brush. And this little thing holds 4 of them. It also has a pick to get crap out of your teeth. So really good to have. Really good idea. Next thing is, this sort of stems off my fire video last week. One of the things that I was hitting myself in the head is that I forgot the old magnifying glass. Now, I've actually already had this in my bag for a while, and that's this little compact magnifying glass that can hold 3 things, because old people like me, and unfortunately many like you, your eyesight sort of goes as you get older, and I really need to have a magnifying glass sometimes to read some of the tiny print they put on stuff. So this one has 3 different strengths. I picked it up at Radio Shack. It is not expensive, but it's not completely cheap either. The thing is that you remember when you were a kid and you used to use a magnifying glass to burn holes and things and start fires and everything? Well, if you get a really cheap magnifying glass, it's not going to focus that nice pinpoint light that you from the sun to start a fire. So you want to get one that is made decent enough that can do that, because there's some cheap ones out there that won't. So don't just buy a magnifying glass and throw it in your bag and think it's going to work to start a fire. So test it out. Don't cheap out on something too cheap, but you don't have to spend a whole bunch of money. Keep it compact, because you only have a limited amount of space, or you're going to be carrying something too big. All right. It's good to have something to be able to drink questionable drinking water. Now, I try to keep 2 bottles, which I usually keep in these side bags, the sides here. Unfortunately, I drank them all, so I had to add some more bottles. But I'm also going to keep this, so you could take one of those bottles and refill them with water, but it might be of a questionable source. Now, these are... okay, it fell. These are drinking water Germicidal Tablets. They basically are iodine. You usually have either, some of these are like chlorine, and then you have some other ones that might be iodine based. It's up to you what you want to use and how good each one is. I'm not an expert at it, but if you have to drink something and it's questionable, carry this little bottle. This has 50 tablets in it. You put 2 tablets into a quart of water and wait 5 minutes, shake up the container, and wait 30 more minutes before drinking, I guess. It's under so it could get you out of a pinch. The company's name for these are Collins, I think it's how, or Coglens. Not sure how to pronounce it. Again, don't come to my channel to learn how to pronounce stuff, because I'm not very good at it. But they make a lot of camping supplies, really cool things, not high priced. Value priced, how about that? Alright. I'm going to save the best thing for last. This is next to the last. This is made by Ozark Trail. Those of you familiar with crap in Walmart, this you can find in Walmart in the camping section. Now, surprisingly, this is made in the USA. And it was, around the $5 price point. And it's a shaker with different spices: salt, pepper, curry, which I'm a big curry fan, paprika, and cayenne pepper, and garlic salt. If you're out there and you have to eat some really nasty things, or eat raw fish or whatever you want to do, but some of you might already eat sushi, so you already eat raw fish, but usually you're putting wasabi and soy sauce on there as an added flavor. So You know, if you have to eat things that could get kind of nasty because you're trying to survive, you can carry around this little, basically allspice, all these different choices in a nice, neat little container. Plus, you know, this bag of mine that fell off the table is an everyday carry bag as well as a 3-day. So I use these things and then replenish them. So really good to have there, just to add some spice to your life. So I'm going to carry this around and use it. Oh, I lied. I got 2 more things. Sorry. Another thing, real small, cheap thing, you know, costs $1 or $2, are these little can openers. We used to call them John Waynes in the Navy. Like, hey, let me borrow your John Wayne. And I don't know if that's technically the correct term, but that's what we call them in the Navy. But it's just a little can opener. You just flip this thing out. See? And you just go around the edge. If you never used one of these before, you might want to practice before you have to actually use them. But this will open up a can. I remember opening up those big coffee cans with this thing for that good old Navy Joe. So keep one of these in your bag. It's very small, doesn't take up any space. It's not going to hurt nothing. Maybe add an ounce. And the thing is, like, if you have to scrounge around for food and you find a can, usually canned food lasts a long time. So you can get your, you know, keep some baked beans and whatever. You might come across some canned food. It's kind of hard to get in without a can opener. You might have to use just your... I remember opening cans of coffee with a knife. Because we had no can opener. And last but not least, really cool thing here. It's called the Figure 9 Carabiner. Check it out. It's made by 90s. See if you understand that. But I thought these were really cool. You know, you had your old plain old carabiners, but I'm going to go ahead and hook this to the strap of my everyday carry bag and keep 2 of them. And they're great for tie down. And you can get things really taut with it without having any skills with knots. And let me show you how this works really quick. And they even have these simple directions to follow right here on the bottom. But I'm going to show off here with a 550 cord, paracord. But all you do is you just sort of go here, bring it around, and go there. See, that's all you have to do. Here's what it looks like in the back. And you just pull that tight. Of course it doesn't work right. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go ahead and get this nice and tight the way it's supposed to be. But all you do is you just put this through here, bring it around, bring it here, pull this down nice and tight, and there you go. It's nice and taut. Okay? Nice and taut. So it's a good way to tie things down. They make a smaller version of this. This is the version that can hold 150 pounds. This is not for lifting anybody out or trusting someone's life to, but it's good for making, help making shelter or to tie something down, or, you know, in a pinch, if you have to use it for life saving, well, the person's going to die anyway, then go for it. That's why I keep 2, because if this holds 150, I could use 2 of them and it'll hold 300, and then maybe I can, you know, say, but, you know, 550 cord is not going to hold much either. So this is more of a tie down kind of thing, hold down, and it helps you so you can get things taut without any knife skills. Like, you would go ahead and pull it until it's nice and tight, and then sort of finish it off and, you know, get it down into those grooves really good, and it's holding it nice and tight. And again, it's a carabiner, so that would hook to whatever. Really cool. You know, it could help you make like a, you know, run a cord for a lean-to or something like that. Could help with a shelter, or again help tying down things. But really cool, very inexpensive. Maybe I think it was like $4 for this. It's made of metal. Unfortunately, it's made in China. But I don't know if some of you may have not seen these yet. They're relatively inexpensive. You can hook them. I'm going to hook them onto the straps on my everyday carry here. Here's the straps. I already have one hanging right there. I'm going to just hang them on there so I have them. Maybe both on one side or one on the other. I don't know. And I do keep some 550 cord in that bag. So there's my everyday. Now, last week I had a question about this watch. Now, before I go into this watch, I just want to say if you're not a subscriber to X-Acto, and I'll put a link below, you need to. Just a really cool channel that I just love watching. It's one of the ones I go to religiously. And what I like about his channel, especially lately, is he was doing a lot of watch reviews, and he was showing off all his G-Shocks, and I love G-Shocks. That's what I wear 99% of the time. I like the solar-powered ones that also set their time automatically from via a radio frequency from an atomic clock somewhere. So they're always charged up. They're always on time. You don't have to worry about them. And I dropped one off the flight deck of an aircraft carrier onto the pier. That thing did not break, kept on going. So I've had 4 of them in my life, and 3 out of the 4 still work. I lost one. So every one of them still work to this day. And maybe that lost one somewhere is still working too. But sometimes I like to get things snazzied up a little bit. This is, because somebody asked, this is an Armatron, and it's one of those automatic skeleton watches. And I'm gonna give you a really close up because it is the coolest watch. Really didn't cost that much either. So check that out. I'll let it focus. I wish I could get rid of that reflection. There we go. Showing off the abilities of this camera's macro too. Now what's really cool is, look at that, you can even see the back of its auto wind, so you can see it moving. So one of the interesting things that I thought about after I bought this watch is, like, let's say we had a huge EMP, electromagnetic pulse, like if someone detonated a nuclear bomb close overhead somewhere, and its purpose in life is to set off such a huge amount of electrical power, like a pulse. It burns out all electronic stuff. So my G-Shock would be rendered useless, but this is a mechanical watch, so it will just keep on going. So I said, oh, well, I got one of these just in case. Get hit with an EMP, this guy should keep on working. You could actually see the jewels. You remember back in the day, see that little red jewel right there? They used to say, this is a 20 jewel or 17 jewel watch. That's because the wheels there that are moving are spinning on an axle or on a pivot point, and they make those out of jewels so they can stand up to the friction for a long period of time, whereas just metal would wear out. So check that out. It's just too cool. Again, it automatically winds. You can see that half moon thing moving. That keeps the spring wound up. So, really cool watch. So, I was originally going to do a video on the SOG Seal Pup, but unfortunately I'm having some issues trying to determine what type of blade steel they use. So I'm going to have to call SOG and ask them, and that should be my next video. And I have an electronic or computer related video coming up too. I'm guessing it's probably going to be about viruses on your computer, or how to properly respond to one of those you have a virus pop-ups on your computer. You really want to listen to this one. I notice a lot of people are getting hit with this particular virus or malware, whatever you want to call it, lately. Anyway, this video is probably getting kind of long, so I need to end it. So again, I appreciate every user, friend, subscriber. Well, I don't know why I keep on saying users. I'm doing too much system administration lately. I appreciate viewers, friends, subscribers very much. I'm happy you keep on coming back. It keeps me making these videos. Have a great evening.